Of all people, Brit Hume actually had one of the best analysis of this debt ceiling issue on Fox News. You didn't hear me wrong. First, he pointed out that, in fact, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, we don't have to default on our debt. Very true point. Let's go to clip 5.
As President Obama enters the negotiations over extending the government's borrowing authority, that is, the debt ceiling, there's some things that need to be understood. The first is that there is almost no chance the government will default on its debt payments, even if the debt ceiling is never raised. That's because revenues will continue to flow into the Treasury from income tax withholding, which will be more than enough to cover the debt payments. So the only way a default could occur would be if the Treasury Department inexplicably chose not to make the payments. But there will come a time when there won't be enough money to fund all government departments and agencies, which would mean real disruptions. The administration will then get to decide which programs are funded and which are not.
See, that last part is really important. Now, he's absolutely right about actually all aspects of that. Now, the conservative interpretation of that is, well, since we don't have to worry about it, we can always pay our debt. We just can't pay Social Security or Medicaid or Medicare or all those government programs, but who cares about those? We don't want to pay those anyway. It's not a big deal not to raise the debt ceiling. I don't agree with that interpretation at all. But on the facts, it's true that we could continue to pay our debt, and in fact, that would give the president enormous power. It would be like a super line item video, because he alone would get to decide what gets funded and what doesn't get funded. And actually, Hume recognized that, and Republicans recognize that. And what he says next is even more interesting. Let's watch.
I do think when it gets closer to it that the Democrats and the White House have a certain advantage in that they get to decide when the money runs short which agencies and departments get funded and which do not. And they will be able to pick and choose in such a way as to put maximum pressure on Republican lawmakers on the Hill. One senator I know of has told his leader that if, for example, the Agriculture Department were not able to fund the the meat and poultry inspections, which would effectively shut down that industry because you have to have inspected meat to sell, that would be the moment when he caved and voted to increase the debt limit.
President Obama, they just told you on Fox News Channel, Republican senators are ready to cave in a matter of days if you actually wield your power. Do you understand? Because all the time we hear from the White House, there was nothing we could do. God, we would have loved to do X or Y or Z. Oh, man, we'd have loved to raise taxes on the rich. Oh, we'd have loved to do the public. Well, we'd have loved to do this. We'd have loved to do that. Oh, but the Republicans, they twisted our arm. But here is Fox News telling you that secretly Republicans and senators are saying, we got nothing, okay? We will cave because you have all the power here. But guess what President Obama is going to say very soon to you? There was nothing we could do. And so we just had to give in to 98% of the demands of the Republicans, right? It's coming. It's coming. They're not even drawing the line on the sand on a single dollar of revenue increases, okay? All right, I'm going to leave it there, man.